everyone, it's Eddie the Chump coming back with another video. This is episode number 2 of Thoughtful Thursdays, although it's not Thursday, it's Tuesday. I missed a week, sorry. When you work for yourself you can get quite busy, as I did last week, but I'm trying to catch up. So, right, the subject for this week is perspective. And by that I mean, most of these subjects actually, they come from my everyday life. So I had an argument with my flatmate. Well, I've got 3 flatmates, but with one of them in particular. And the argument's not actually that important, but the subject is, so when you have a disagreement with someone, say you're both talking about a similar subject or the same subject and you have different points of view, that's the kind of perspective I want to talk about. Now, the argument that we had was over tidying up in the flat. I'm sure many of you who live with flatmates will be perfectly accustomed to dealing with a situation like this. And it just occurred to me how funny it was that we had such differing perspectives about the same thing. Because I don't know if you're like me, but when I try and analyze something, whether I'm right or wrong, I try and take in all possible angles. Like I try and consider, am I in the right, am I in the wrong, am I being too forward, I'm not trying to dominate the conversation, that sort of stuff. So it's kind of difficult for me to accept that anyone, this sounds terrible, that anyone could reach any other conclusion other than one I have, which is obviously completely ridiculous. Like, obviously people can come up to like different conclusions, even about the same subject, even against all evidence, as I'm sure people have found out. And that's to do with a sort of, I don't know, a secondary subject in this video, which is subjectivity. So the thing about perspective is that we all see things from our own point of view. Okay, so this argument I'm talking about with my flatmate, I saw from my point of view and he saw from his. Now, it's about the same thing, but they're completely different. And the reason for that is our subjectivity. So, say if it was a moral issue, say take something like highly controversial, say abortion, okay, so something like that. Now, 2 people will have very different perspectives about a similar issue, and it's to do with their subjectivity. Now, that's informed by their beliefs, what they think is right and wrong, like all the things I mentioned earlier. And it's just really interesting to me how people can have such differing perspectives. I mean, it's related to something closer to home, say Call of Duty. Black Ops 2 is coming out, right? Back when Black Ops 1 came out, Treyarch decided to nerf sniper rifles. Now, this is sniper rifle usage in Call of Duty is controversial to some and not to others. Some people like to do it, others don't. Now, I happen to like it. I made a video before about which sniping I prefer. I do kind of prefer my sniping to be a little bit more difficult. But that's a perfect issue for that. Like, I have a certain perspective because there's something that I find personally satisfying about sniping being difficult, and there's other people who want to run around, press left trigger, right trigger, and kill people, and da-da-da-da-da. And back when Black Ops sort of nerfed it, people went berserk at David Vonderhaar and Treyarch, you know, and had a massive go at them and threatened not to buy the game, whereas there was a lot of other people that were saying, you know, it's about time. I was sick of that in Modern Warfare 2, you know, I was sick of the intervention and the amount of aim assist, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So it's just fascinating how that can happen, you know, like about anything, and it can cause great controversy and people can get really bent out of shape about even the smallest things, you know, like weapon balance in a Call of Duty game, you know, it's just ridiculous. Although I will say, when you start thinking about stuff like that, when you start thinking about why someone thinks the way they do, why someone disagrees with you, say like you have a disagreement with someone on a moral level, it's always a good idea to try and think why they think what they do, to like take into their values into account, take into where they're from, you know, what background they're from, all these kinds of things, to try and understand people. I always think it's a better idea to try and subjectivity is something that you want to overcome, I think. Although we're totally limited to our own viewpoint, say like I can't ever escape my own head. Oh, I've run out of time. I didn't even realise. I'm going to have to carry this video on, this subject on, because I love talking about this sort of stuff. So I'll do another video. I'll do a follow-up video, Thoughtful Thursdays Part 2, subjectivity. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to see more from me, go to my channel. In the meantime, please like and subscribe. It helps grow the channel. Thank you.